You know, after all these years on the bench, I've learned that sometimes parents break their own hearts just to keep their children together. One quiet Tuesday morning, a 71-year-old man walked into my courtroom. His name was Frank. His hands shook with age. He had received a citation for riding the city bus without a valid ticket. I looked at him, then gently asked, "Mr. Frank, why didn't you buy a ticket?" He smiled. "I spent my last few dollars on dinner." The courtroom became silent. I looked at the report. "You live alone, so why buy 2 dinners?" Frank lowered his head, then quietly answered, "I actually bought 3. The room froze. I asked, "3? He nodded. "I have 2 daughters. They haven't spoken in almost 8 years. They had an argument after their mother died. Since then, they've celebrated every holiday without each other." His voice cracked. "So every Tuesday, I eat dinner with my older daughter. Then I take another bus across town and eat a second dinner with my younger daughter." The courtroom was completely silent. I frowned. "But why?" Frank smiled sadly. "Because if I don't, they'll think I chose one over the other. So every week, I tell each daughter she was the only one I had dinner with." Even the prosecutor looked away. Then Frank reached into his pocket. He pulled out 2 birthday cards, both addressed to him. "I never open them until I'm home, because I don't want one daughter to see the other's handwriting." A tear rolled down his face. "I've spent 8 years hiding the truth. I wasn't protecting myself. I was protecting the tiny chance that one day they might forgive each other." Then he looked at me, his voice trembling, and asked the question I'll never forget. "Your Honor, when a father can't fix his children's broken hearts, has he failed as a parent?" I stepped down from my bench, walked over, placed my hand on the 2 birthday cards, then quietly said, "Mr. Frank, a parent doesn't fail because their children lose their way. A parent succeeds every time they refuse to stop loving them." By now, the courtroom was filled with tears. Just then, the courtroom doors opened. 2 women walked inside, his daughters. Neither knew the other had come. They looked at each other, then at their father. One of them whispered, "Dad, you've been eating 2 dinners every Tuesday?" Frank nodded. "I'm old. I can skip lunch, but I couldn't skip either of you." For a long moment, no one spoke. Then the younger sister walked slowly toward the older one. She reached out and held her hand. "I'm tired of losing Mom," over and over again. The older sister began to cry. "So am I." They hugged. Their father covered his face. Not because he was sad, but because after 8 long years, his family was finally whole again. As they left the courtroom together, Frank smiled toward the sky and softly whispered, "We did it, my love." The girls found their way home, because after all these years on the bench, I've learned parents don't dream of expensive gifts. They dream of seeing their children sit at the same table one more time. Before I leave you today, if there's someone in your family you haven't spoken to for far too long, don't wait. Sometimes one phone call can heal years of silence.